Hello, welcome to IELTS Band 9 Success channel. I'm your host, Edward. In today's video, we're going to look at an IELTS Task 1 answer written by a student. We'll look at this question and see how we can improve on the writing. So without much ado, let's get to the question. As we can see from the screen, this is the typical IELTS Task 1 picture comparison type question. In this question, you are given two plans, and as we can see from the question, the two plans show a public park when it first opened in 1920 and the same park today. After that, it asks you to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Remember, this is very important. So you need to, first of all, identify the main features. What are the most important details in these two pictures? Besides, you need to compare the two when it is relevant. Now let's move on and see the student's response to this question. In the first paragraph, the student has written the map illustrates the changes that took place in Grange Park from the time it was inaugurated in 1920 to the present. I would say this is an alright opening, as the student has clearly stated what these two plans are about. So, well, obviously they're about like the same park, but just at different points of time. Now we move on to the second paragraph of the essay here, which is kind of like a summary of the main features and details of the whole essay. The park is situated between Arnold Avenue and Alden Street. This tells the location of the park, and that's alright. And then we move on, and overall only the northeast rose garden remains in the present plan of Grange Park from that of 1920. The word northeast should be changed to northwest. And even if we change the word northeast to northwest, there's still an issue, because if you look at both plans, well, in the northwest of the park, originally there were some seats plus the rose garden, and now we only got the rose garden, so you cannot say the northwest of the rose garden remains in the present plan, because obviously there are some changes in this part of the park as well. Moving on to the last sentence. However, a cafeteria, play area for children, and an amphitheater for concerts has been added over time. There are three changes which should be made in the last sentence. The first one being however. If you want to use the word however, it should show you're contradicting your previous idea. But here, if we look at the previous sentence and compare it with this one, we don't see any contradiction. This is like just adding some additional information here, so the word however should not be used. The second issue here is the word has been. This is wrong in terms of the subject-verb agreement, because if you look at this sentence here, it talks about the cafeteria, the play area, and also the amphitheater, which are three different features, so you should use the word have instead of has. The last problem is the word over time, which should be broken into two parts, right? It should be two words, over time, rather than just one word. In this paragraph, we can see the writer is telling us about the main features of the park in 1920. Basically, he or she has given out all the details here. First, by telling us there's a fountain in the center of the park, and also a stage for the performances of musicians on the left. The only issue here, I think, is again the confusion with the direction, because it says here water plants on the northwest side. I think the point with the water plants should be on the northeast side. And also the glass house was also present west to the south gate. The glass house, I think, should be to the right of the south gate, or maybe you can say east to the south gate. So in general, this paragraph is alright, but quite unfortunately, the student has got the directions mixed up, so which will cause some loss in marks as well. Moving on to the last paragraph. Today, the fountain from 1920 has been replaced by a rose garden in the center, surrounded by a sitting area. I think here the writer probably forgets to put a full stop. So the second sentence should be starting with to the east of which, and so on. So first, let's look at the first sentence. Well, it says the rose garden in the center, surrounded by a sitting area. I think I'll just stick to the word sits, or because this is what is provided on the plan. I'll just say surrounded by sits on all four sides. That's also what the plan indicates to us. The sits are on all four sides of the rose garden surrounding it. Now we move on to the second sentence, to the east of which the stage has been upgraded to an amphitheater to accommodate more people. To the east of which, this is quite confusing. I think what the writer is trying to say is just to the east, the stage. So just cross out of which. Make sure you get your grammar correct as well. The following sentence, by looking at both the plans, we can observe that the point has been shifted in place of the glass house. This sentence is problematic on two levels. First, the writer is equating the point to the water feature. From the plans here, we can see, right, there's now a water feature at the bottom right corner of the plan, but we're not sure whether it's a point or not. It just says here water feature. It might be something different, so I'll just use the word given by the plan and say it's a water feature. And the second issue here is the point has been shifted in place of. The word shifted here is wrong. You should just say something like the point has been moved to the location of blah 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 and so on. Well, but yeah, we shouldn't even like think of the two as the same, although you may say they are of the same category. So you may say something like, in terms of aquatic features, and then you can write your sentence to describe what change has taken place. The following sentence, although a new play area for children has been developed with a cafeteria alongside near the entrance from Arnold Avenue. So this is a new feature, and this sentence is also alright. Okay, now we are on to the last part of the essay. And underground parking is also present, with its entrance on the bottom right corner of the plan. So this is also alright, okay, or you may emphasize the fact this is a new feature as well.